Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. How you doing, honey? There's a vibe to your new moon. There's a vibe. I'm trying to put my finger on it. This new moon is happening in your 9th house. Quest, adventure, higher education, long distance travel. You know, this is a Sag run house. You know, last month we had the sun transiting our 8th house, which is a toughie. That's a toughie. Transformation, death, and rebirth. You know, we really purged some belief systems and money, the big things. You know, money was a big deal last month. Now, we look at bigger goals, bigger aspirations, bigger dreams, adventure. What does adventure mean to you, Cancer? What is travel? What are the goals that are up here? You know, we're right here, right now. What's your Everest? You know, this Pisces new moon is happening at 1 degree of Pisces. Next month, we have an Aries new moon at 1 degree of Aries. That's the end of these redwood seeds that we're planting. You know, we've had a lot of new moons that fell at 1 degree of their sign. So it's fresh start. But these are deep seeds, deep redwoods. This is big deal stuff. You know, this is an interesting time for you, Cancer. There's definitely you're really seeing the woo-woo. You see the woo-woo in a way where yeah. The world is changing, Cancer, and the world will change. And change, how can we rebrand change? How can we rebrand what used to be deemed as negative as just is? Not as positive, but just it is. Fear is a 4-letter word. It is. Fear will fuck your face up. I'm sorry for swearing, Cancer. I'm sorry for swearing. Fear will really affect your judgment in Pisces season. You know, this is a trine. This is a water sign to water sign. You know, this is, you know, for Cancer sun, this will be like a closing trine. So this season should feel good for you. Just like Scorpio season feels good for you. It just feels like, okay, this is a fellow water sign. This is a buddy. I got this. I understand how Pisces does things. I understand how they work. They're mutable water where you are cardinal water. Water is emotions. So Cancer, when you feel something, you say it. You say, this is the temperature of what I'm feeling in the room and nobody wants to talk about it and I'm crying just because I'm saying it. Yeah, there's some scary shit, pardon me for swearing, coming down the pipeline for the collective. I know. Even in my local newspaper in Gloucester, the Gloucester Daily Times, I, saw one at the cafe and I didn't get it. And I saw one at the grocery store and I didn't get it. And then I saw another one at the grocery store. I was like, okay, you need to buy this paper. So I bought the paper and I brought it to Cafe Sicilia and I was just reading it and I noticed that an entire section, more than half of that paper, was obituaries. And not even, it was a memorial of the obituaries of January alone. So, I don't even want to look in your eye right now. You scare me. But in a way that you feel this so intensely, and it's like, if in your eyes, Cancer, it's like a tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel is a little light. I can see that little light down the corridor of the tunnel. I can see, you know, that there is a light at the end of this. I know that you know in your gut that there's a light at the end of this scary lions and tigers and bears portion of the world right now. But Cancer, let's work on really grounding ourselves before we go out into the world, especially in Pisces season. Maybe the higher education that I'm seeing for you right now is some meditative practices. I don't leave the house until I feel in control of my thoughts, my words, and my actions. I know who I am. I'm not disillusioned. I'm not, my partner's partner. I am not this job. I am not this mother. I am not this. I am not that. I am in control of my thoughts, words, and actions. I am a conscious being of light. I'm a light worker. I'm on my highest and greatest timeline. I'm prepared to act as my true self before I go out there. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising, I highly, highly recommend incorporating literally, if it is 60 seconds in the morning and 60 seconds at night, it's the habit of habit, honey. It's the habit of habit. Can we set a timer for 60 seconds in the morning and sit down and just count your breaths for 60 seconds? And then at the end of the night, similar practice. 60 seconds, I release, I surrender, I let go of what does not serve me. I let go of the expectations of the day, of the world, whatever it may be. I would really highly recommend, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, that we look at some education as far as grounding ourselves in the woo-woo. Grounding ourselves in the woo-woo. Because you will have if you haven't fully experienced your full awakening, it will come in a flash. It'll come like an alien will pop into your room, whatever, like your grandma will, send you a bird sign. It'll be so fearless. It will be like an angel in the room. It will be so lovely and auspicious and wonderful that you cannot deny the reality of, the world as it is. You cannot deny angels, aliens, the whole thing, the corruption, the whole thing. But it's integrated instantly. Instantly. There's this feeling like there's this deep, it's like the age of the Cancer, if the Aries is the infants, the Taurus next, then the Geminis, like the toddler. I just found out this information, I got to teach you. Whereas like the Cancer and the Leo, we're going into like the Stand By Me kids. I will protect you to the bitter end. That is the crab. That is the Cancer. I know you want to protect us. You don't know what it is. You don't know what's coming. It's like this freaking, how am I supposed to protect my family and flack from what I can't see and what I don't know? Don't let the anxiety get the best of you. Don't let the depression get the best of you. Mental illness is a big thing right now, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. But really, I recommend, and there are free resources up, down, side to side. Something that Lewis Howes said, and it was a talk that he was doing with Bob Proctor years ago, or maybe a few years ago, I think 2021, where it says, when you pay attention. So maybe even if it is like a 99-cent program, something that you could do, some video that you can purchase, something that you can donate to a guide that you really resonate with, but looking into a meditative practice, a book, a self-help book, whatever it may be, I highly recommend that. Highly, highly, highly recommend that be where we plant our seeds and that we really focus on right now. Because if we're up here, Cancer, we're going to be having our full moon down here in a few weeks in the 3rd house of communication. So we're coming into a space that, mental health is a real thing. And I want you to know that it's okay to be shaking and crying by standing your power and using your full voice. It is okay. As long as you say it and do it. Fond responses, Don't get me wrong. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. But they actually sabotage our entire lives. So if we know that we're going to be having a full moon coming in a house where we're going to have to communicate and purge old belief system, we know this is coming in 2 weeks. Okay? This is why I love math and patterns and science. Like, this is why I love what I'm doing. Love what I'm doing. Because we know that that's coming in 2 weeks. We know we need to ground. You know, the universe, the chart is telling us Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Pardon me, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Ground. Learn how to ground. Learn how to ground. Because we're going to have some really interesting conversations in a few weeks. Some really boundary setting conversations. Maybe utilizing these new tools. And, you know, and that pace should not scare us. And I'm not going to should you. My apologies, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I apologize. I'm going to take that should right back. But that, what is it, Desiree song? Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds. Yeah, there's a part in it where it goes, I don't even know if I can sing right now. Time asks no questions, it moves on without you, leaving you behind if you can't stand the pace. The world keeps on spinning, can't stop it if you try to. The best part is danger staring you in the face. I don't even know if that sounded right. I don't even give a shit. But who cares? Sound like crap. Just say it, Cancer. But yeah, the best part is danger staring you in the face. The world keeps on spinning, can't stop it if you tried to. Yeah. Yeah. Leaving you behind if you can't stand the pace. If you know in 2 weeks you're going to have some tough chats, what can you do right now? And these could be amazing healing chats. This could be you standing in your power, utilizing new communicative tools that you haven't nourished since that trauma happened when you were a kid. This is huge shit, Cancer. These are huge opportunities for growth. I'm here to support you however I can. Thank you so much, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Yeah. Please reach out directly if I can be helpful. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please share this with a fellow Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Tips are always welcome and appreciated. I'm a waiter through and through. So if this resonates with you, please send a thanks along. I love you. I'll see you in a few weeks. You know how to scream through your emotions. You know how to be, anger is an emotion. You know how to express yourself angry. Terrify them, Cancer. Express yourself calm. They won't